What is going on, y'all? I am coming back at you for the results of my 5-day isocaloric sardine fast. So if you had not yet seen part 1, which I'll link to somewhere in this video or the description below, that is basically the precursor to the experiment. The motivation behind it, what the format was, and what I was testing for and experimenting with. I am now recording this part 2 finale post-sardine challenge. I successfully ate 18 cans of sardines a day, 3,000 calories, so holding calories constant, isocaloric intake of exclusively sardines. And I have the results of my blood panels, the results of my weight, and then just some feedback as far as like what I noticed, the pros, the cons, all that jazz. So let's dive into it. First of all, let's just start with the blood work. So we got this first test on the left here shows my preliminary blood work, which was taken right before the experiment started. This secondary panel on the right is the post-experiment blood work taken on Monday. After the Friday was the last day of the sardine fast, this was taken on Monday, and then I'll get an additional third panel drawn in about 6 to 7 weeks to see if anything has changed since then. So looking at these two blood panels back to back, we got glucose to start was 100. The second time was 94. This is going to vary a little bit. I mean, I was typically getting these bloods drawn in the morning, but I've already been awake for quite a while. I've been working on business stuff for quite a while. I did both of these having not trained in the morning, so it was untrained, but pretty much relatively the same as far as that's concerned. I'm just kind of breezing through these here, kind of keeping these the constant. So 24 to 26, creatinine 1.27 to 1.25. 76 to 77, the bun creatinine ratio 19 to 21, sodium 138 to 137. So all this is holding pretty steady, honestly. Potassium was 5, went to 4.8. Chloride was 102 to 102, no change. Carbon dioxide total 23 to 21. Calcium 9.9 to 9.4. Protein total 6.6 to 6.4. Albumin 5 to 4.7, globulin total 1.6 to 1.7. So honestly, holding really stable as far as that's concerned. Bilirubin total 0.6 to 0.3, so the bilirubin dropped a bit. Alkaline phosphate 42 to 44. Now we got these liver enzyme markers, and quick caveat on these. Mine pretty much always show elevated because if you train 24 to 72 hours within getting bloods drawn, from a liver enzyme standpoint, you're likely going to see elevated liver enzymes. So the fact that these are showing high is not really concerning to me because my training load, again, I did not train prior to these tests, but I definitely trained the day prior. So my liver enzymes are almost certainly elevated for that reason alone. And I trained prior on both of these. So 42 to 44, 41 to 46, ALT 52 to 61. So again, these are going to show high. All right, now getting into the cholesterol markers, the lipid panels. So cholesterol total was 301 to start, dropped to 267. So a little decrease there. Trigs went from 57 to 49. So those also dropped as well. HDL went from 121, so higher to start, down to a 111. The VLDL cholesterol went from 11 to 9. LDL total, or cholesterol calculation rather, NIH, went from 169 to 147, so a decrease there. And then non-HDL cholesterol went from 180 to 156. So there's my lipid markers, a decrease pretty much across the board except for HDL. Now this last little bit, here's where I'm particularly interested. The heavy metals. A lot of people that consume a lot of canned fish specifically are concerned about heavy metals. So we did a heavy metal test beforehand and afterwards. Let's see what that shows. So heavy metals. Lead went from 2.1 to 2.2. So no change there. Arsenic went from 3 to 12. So that's now off the charts on arsenic. So either I ate a lot of sardines or somebody's poisoning me here. I did eat a lot of sardines. I don't think anybody's poisoned me. But comment here in this elevated panel, physiological arsenic concentration is unexposed individuals are usually less than 10 UG per liter. However, the total arsenic concentrations may be markedly increased after dietary consumption of seafood. It may be appropriate to follow up on elevated values with an arsenic test in urine, the preferred specimen type, in order to determine if the arsenic is a toxic inorganic species. So, the only change really was the massive increase in sardine consumption. So, I feel like it's relatively safe to say that's where the arsenic is coming from. The mercury went from 1.7 to 3.5. So, that also increased over that span. It's not off the charts by any means, but it's definitely elevated from what it was. So, for all intents and purposes, you can say that my heavy metal concentrations worsened as a result of eating exclusively sardines. But again, that is 9 cans twice a day, 18 cans a day total. I don't expect anybody to really consume it on a regular basis. Let's now dive into the actual weight stats and what my consumption looked like over that span. So going over to Chronometer now, I've got this for the week that the experiment was taking place. Pretty much my total intake here of 3,000 calories on Monday, the 25th, and that went through Friday. Now, my weight started at 184. It went up actually after starting the sardine fast, went to 185, 185, 184. So it dropped a little bit. Then it went back up again on Friday, 184.9. So for all intents and purposes, I mean, volatility, there's going to be a little bit of volatility with fluid fluctuations, things of that nature. But for all intents and purposes, my weight was relatively stable. A lot of people do a sardine fast because they're trying to lose a lot of weight. And people do this, they only eat a few cans and they lose a lot of weight because, again, they're only eating a few cans. When you keep the calories equated for, as I did in this experiment, my weight was relatively stable the whole time. Interestingly enough, after the sardine fast was over, I decided to have a caloric refeed day, going back to a higher fat ratio, which is what I prefer, consuming foods that I normally consume, like heavy cream in my coffee, a keto brick, and a bunch of ribeye. So after the sardine fast was over, so Saturday, I consumed an additional 1,500 calories, so 4,500 calories total, which is why you see this spike in consumption right here. My macros that day were about, let's see here, fat. This is all by calories, so a significantly higher fat ratio, basically. And that day, following that higher intake day, that was when my weight was the lowest. So after consuming an additional 1,500 calories and normal foods, not sardines, with a higher fat ratio on Saturday, on Sunday, the day following that 1,500 calorie increase, my weight dropped down lower than it was throughout the entirety of the sardine fast challenge. So if that doesn't kind of point to the obvious fact that, hey, sardines in and of themselves are not going to be like the make and break magic factor that result in miraculous weight loss, then I don't really know what else would. So that's what the intake looked like. That's what the weight trend looked like. The body fat was pretty much 14% across the board. There's a little fluctuation there similar to weights, but I'm using an in-body scan. There's going to be some variance there based off of fluid, hydration levels, things of that nature. So for all intents and purposes, body composition stayed the same. Now, let's dive into some of the nuance, some of the things I noticed, the pros, the cons, all that jazz. So the pros were few and far between. Basically, I did not have to think about what I was going to eat. It's obviously I'm going to eat sardines. So like there's no food noise or distraction or time or bandwidth spent thinking where, when, how I'm going to eat. That was all decided for me at the onset. So that was liberating. The only other pro is that eating exclusively sardines pretty much covers your micronutrient needs. And it's incredibly satiating, not hyper palatable whatsoever, which is why people do it. So I had no desire to eat more than my maintenance intake. So my maintenance intake is around 3,000 calories, which is why my weight stayed stable during that time. In eating exclusively sardines over that 5-day span, I did not want to eat any more sardines. There were times where I did not even want to eat my maintenance intake, which is very counter to my norm. I could easily consume way beyond my maintenance intake in pretty much any other food group or category. Even things as simple as like ground beef and eggs. I could eat exclusively ground beef and eggs, and I could eat far beyond my maintenance intake of 3,000 calories. I would legitimately have a hard time eating at a surplus of exclusively sardines. So if you are dealing with excessive food noise and just need to kind of wipe the slate clean and start fresh at your baseline maintenance intake, consuming exclusively sardines could be a viable option for you there. That is pretty much the only pros. The cons are much more frequent. So honestly, I like sardines. I'm a fan of sardines, but eating exclusively sardines is just straight up freaking gross. Like it just is gross. That amount, that volume, that quantity. On day 2, which is probably the hardest day of the 5 days, I was just nauseous. I had a headache. I was kind of grossed out by the idea of consuming more sardines, but I chipped away, and did it anyways. So there's no appetizing thing to say about just eating exclusively sardines. It became more palatable when I would air fry the sardines, get a little bit of a crispiness going. I would put a little bit of hot sauce on there, or some Primal Kitchen, ketchup or mustard, or Primal Kitchen buffalo sauce, something like that. A very low calorie, clean sauce of some nature, just to kind of give me a little bit of a change in flavor. So that, with an air fried crispy sardine while watching a YouTube video of somebody eating a steak, is the hack that I came up with to get it down, like choke it down, so to speak. So there was that. But again, I did feel a little bit nauseous in the beginning. It got easier as it went on, but I was definitely excited to deviate from sardine consumption. The other cons were that from a blood glucose and ketone standpoint, because that amount of sardines is higher in protein than fat, typically I was consuming around 324 grams of protein and about 200 grams of fat each day. I was eating the sardines packaged in olive oil, and then I would drain the oil so I could hit my caloric load. That's what the macros on the cans of sardines are based off of, drained weight. So I'm still getting some residual olive oil plus the naturally occurring fats in the sardines themselves. So my protein ratio was high relative to what my normal intake is. I believe it winds up breaking down to about 55% of my calories coming from fat, which is much lower on the fat ratio than is normal for me. So as a result of that, my glucose, I know via the blood work, it showed that I actually saw a decrease in blood glucose, but just in looking at my CGM data and using a Keto Mojo test strip throughout that span, my glucose started trending up over that week without question. I mean, I was typically, going from low 90s to upper 90s to more frequently than not above 100, especially when, obviously post-training or upon waking or anything of that nature that would skew it high as well. But just as a baseline, my glucose was increasing. Also, because of that, my ketones were decreasing. I'm typically not super high in the ketones, normally around 0.5 to 1. That's a normal range for me, sometimes as low as 0.3. Throughout this experiment, I was consistently 0.1, 0.2, because I was just consuming so much protein relative to dietary fat. Being in a surplus or maintenance in general is going to also result in lower ketones, higher glucose, but that seemed to be amplified by way of this higher protein to fat ratio overall. So because of that drop in ketones, increase in glucose, I also started to experience more physical fatigue and more mental fog or haze, so to speak. I wasn't quite as sharp from a mental acuity standpoint. So that was another downside for sure. GI-wise, I'm normally pretty consistent. Once in the morning, regular bowel movement, one and done. No issues there. With this sardine fast experiment, I noticed myself going typically twice a day, normally shortly after each consumption. So, no issues. I didn't really have any constipation or diarrhea per se, but it just had that, increased frequency, so to speak, from a GI standpoint. You get a little fish burps in the beginning, and then I feel like that kind of acclimated for me because my body's pretty resilient, and it just scaled up whatever I needed to from a bile production standpoint or whatever, stomach acid standpoint, to incorporate and deal with that amount of sardines. But fish burps seem to be amplified more so in the beginning and then trail off as the week went on. Other downside effects is I just missed other food sources. Sardines again are not hyper palatable. So I really started to miss my heavy cream in my coffee, my keto brick post training. I missed red meat in the evenings and eggs, things of that nature. So that was the takeaway for me. Now, who would benefit from this sardine fast in the first place? So I kind of alluded to this in the first video, but people do this because, again, sardines are incredibly micronutrient dense. So you are able to cover a lot of your nutritional needs, especially in the context of a deficit, with sardines. And if you're eating exclusively sardines, you can remove all that other food noise. People don't really understand the mechanism behind why they're losing weight, but they'll jump on a sardine fast or an egg fast or anything like this, and they'll, because it's not hyperpalatable, eat much less by default, and for that reason they'll drop a lot of weight, which makes sense. I wanted to prove what would happen from an isocaloric standpoint, which is that my weight stayed stable. My glucose actually increased as opposed to decreased, and my ketones actually dropped as opposed to increasing. Counter to what everybody does a sardine fast for, which goes to show that when people do a sardine fast, they're not tracking anything. They're just exclusively eating sardines. They are incredibly satiating. They wind up eating like 2 or 3 cans of sardines a day. If you're getting a Wild Planet brand sardine like I am, 1 can is 170 calories. So 2 or 3 cans a day, you're like 500 calories tops. That's not enough food for any full-grown adult. You know, my son, my toddler son eats significantly more than that. So under-fueling yourself, undernourishing yourself, and eating at a drastic deficit is going to result in that initial weight loss. And so many people get so enthused by that they wind up incorporating these sardine fasts for 3 days or 5 days every week or two. So their average intake drops off the freaking cliff. And eventually, their metabolic rate decreases as a result. Their performance starts to tank. Everything starts to go downhill. You have to fuel yourself appropriately. And again, I'm pro sardines. I like sardines. They are a nutritional powerhouse. But as is true with anything, any type of diet, any type of food group, if you are massively under-consuming, under-fueling, you are going to start underperforming. And that, ladies and gents, is not a good thing. A couple of use cases where a sardine fast would make sense is if you are, a cancer patient and you were going through chemotherapy and you're eating at a massive deficit and you're trying to check all those nutritional boxes and preserve muscle. Sardine fast may be a viable option for you there. If you are, again, trying to eat at maintenance like I have, but then remove the food noise, quiet down the binging tendencies, that could be a viable option because, again, it's very hard to overconsume beyond your maintenance of sardines, or at least it is for me. But that's pretty much it. If you're trying to lose weight and make it sustainable and preserve performance and build muscle, or at least preserve muscle, just randomly eating 3 cans of sardines for a significant period of time is not the best option for you. Hopefully, this experiment proved that sardines in and of themselves are not some magical thing that's going to solve all your problems. So that, ladies and gents, is my result of the sardine fast. I am so incredibly grateful to be eating other foods now. Got the keto bricks back in rotation, got heavy cream back in my coffee, got a freaking steak for dinner tonight, and I'm excited about that. Don't know when I'll eat another can of sardines, but I'm not super excited to do so. Not in a hurry to do so. I'm going to be on a red meat trend for the next several weeks going forward. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for following along. And just one last thing I'll say is, again, when I switched over back to a higher fat ratio from that sardine fast, energy picked back up, ketones started increasing again, glucose started dropping again, overall energy and vitality throughout the day also improved. So when you are focusing on improving fat metabolism, especially from a performance standpoint, give yourself ample dietary fat, adequate protein, minimal carbohydrates, and train and perform and live your life to the fullest. And no amount of crazy, miraculous, viral food challenge fast or hype that's on social media is going to be your saving grace. Consistency, discipline, and a well-formulated nutritional protocol that you can adhere to for the long haul is going to be where the magic happens there. So appreciate y'all again, and see you next time.